Welcome, Brave Warrior, to my completely professional and absolutely not made-up Elder Scrolls Online PvP dueling guide, where you'll learn everything you need to know to go from loading screen enthusiast to person who dies slightly slower. Your weapons should be sharp enough to slice through enemy defenses, or at least through stale bread. Step 2. Buffs. Pre-buff before the duel, but not so long that your opponent logs off, moves to another zone, and writes their memoirs while waiting. Step 3. Positioning. Line of sight is key. Hide behind trees, rocks, or that one AFK crafter in Ralka, but be prepared for Nightblades who treat those hiding spots like Airbnbs. This is the masterclass in 1vxing and dueling, meaning you'll be fighting multiple people at once, or, more accurately, multiple people will be fighting you while you pretend you totally planned it that way. Understanding 1vx mentality. 1vx is not about winning. It's about refusing to die long enough to convince onlookers you might win. It's about turning every fight into a YouTube thumbnail with the caption, Insane 1vx, 15v1, 0 deaths? Even though your 0 deaths comes from cutting the footage after your soul gem count hits 0, gear up like you mean it. If you're a real PvPer, you run meta sets until you die to some weirdo wearing Plague Doctor Plus, Hide of the Werewolf, and you question your life choices. Weapon enchantments? Oh, you'll remember to reapply them right after you notice your damage is hitting like a wet noodle. Armor traits? All impin', obviously. Not because it's the best, but because that one time you forgot and wore divines, you got crit so hard you saw your own loading screen from beta. Dueling etiquette, or lack thereof. Dueling is ESO's equivalent of an awkward handshake. Everyone has their own ritual. The respectful pre-buff handshake. The no siege agreement, which is broken by catapult guy within 3 seconds. The unspoken rule that if someone duels you mid-buff and you accept by accident, you both just pretend it was fair. Pro tip, in duels, you're not really fighting the player. You're fighting their internet connection, animation cancel skill, and emotional damage from last night's losing streak. How to actually 1vx. Here's the formula. Find a Zerg. Bonus points if it's 30 people farming AP off a resource flag. Walk into them confidently. Pretend you know what you're doing. Confidence is 50% of PvP. The other 50% is spam healing yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Line of sight abuse. Trees, rocks, staircases, random NPCs, that one crate and bruma that everyone hides behind. If you're not using Loas, you're basically naked. Burst combos. Hit them so hard they immediately start typing hacks in zone chat. Miss your combo, and congratulations. You've just made someone's combat metrics look amazing. Stamina and magicka management. If your stamina hits 0, you're role-playing as free AP. If your magicka hits 0, you're a tanky NPC with no damage. You want to keep both up just enough to keep panic roll dodging until reinforcements arrive. Even if those reinforcements are just a random PvE guy who got lost. Step 6. Reading the battlefield. Nightblades. They're like mosquitoes. You'll never see them until they hit you, and by the time you react, you're wondering if you should just log off. Sorks. If you hear a crystal frag sound, it's already too late. DKs. They won't kill you fast. They'll cook you slowly over 12 dots and watch you suffer. Wardens. Their healing is so strong they could probably survive in a volcano if it gave them major mending. Necros. If you see a graveyard pop up, it's a trap. The trap is that you think you can kill them. Dueling for training. You can duel friends to practice combos. Or, if you're like me, duel random strangers and learn that your PvP build is actually just a glorified fishing outfit with higher health. Psychological warfare. Sometimes 1vx isn't about DPS or healing. It's about making your enemies give up. You do this by using laugh after dodging their ultimate, eating food mid-fight, pretending to type in chat while still killing them, accepting your deaths. You will die many times. Sometimes to lag, sometimes to Zergs, sometimes to a guy with 300 ping who somehow light attacks faster than the laws of physics allow. The trick is to die with style. Go down swinging, block casting, or screaming in zone chat about desync. Final words of wisdom. ESO PvP is a magical place. A land of endless loading screens, questionable balance patches, and fights where you win only because the enemy fell off a cliff. Whether you're dueling, 1vxing, or just trying to survive a surprise gank, remember, victory is temporary, death is inevitable, but the clips you post to Discord are forever. Alright, strap in, because this is going to be the full, over-the-top, 30-minute ESO PvP 1vx and dueling comedy guide, loaded with enough nonsense to keep you entertained from now until you accidentally aggro a keep guard and die mid-speech. Welcome, brave and slightly unstable warrior. Today, you're not just learning PvP, you're learning the art of making questionable combat decisions look like tactical genius. We're talking about fighting multiple players at once, dueling strangers, and surviving long enough to clip the fight and post it with the caption, "Easy 1vx, no sweat," conveniently ignoring the 12 takes before it where you got flattened like a sweet roll under a mammoth's foot. The 1vx mindset. 1vxing is not about winning. Oh no. It's about creating chaos so intense the enemy Zerg forgets what they were doing and chases you halfway across the map. You must understand, the moment you run into more than one person, you're no longer fighting. You're auditioning for the role of main character in everyone else's combat logs. Signs you have the right 1vx mindset, you yell, "Light them up!" even though you're solo. You count kills as any time someone might have died because of you. You measure success not in AP gained, but in how much zone chat is now arguing about you. Gear, the fashion disaster that fights back. Every PvPer will tell you gear is important, but what they mean is gear is everything. Wear meta sets like Rallying Cry, Clever Alchemist, or Plague Break. If you're feeling spicy, mix in something dumb like Vampire's Cloak just to make your death recap look like a joke build from Reddit. Gold weapons are nice, but let's be real. If you've survived more than 2 seconds in Cyrodiil, it wasn't because of the weapon. It was because 3 enemies suddenly stopped to type, "Who the heck is this?" Pro tip, always reapply your weapon glyphs. You'll forget, of course, and spend 15 minutes wondering why your burst combo is about as threatening as being pelted with sweet rolls. Dueling 101, the awkward PvP handshake. Dueling is where you practice, make friends, or develop lifelong rivalries. The unspoken rules, always bow before starting, or teabag. Either way sets the tone. Don't pre-ult unless you're a shameless meta abuser. So, everyone. If you win, act humble. If you lose, loudly blame lag, desync, or your cat walking across your keyboard. Remember, duels aren't about who's best. They're about who can survive long enough to claim, "I wasn't trying anyway." The art of 1vx positioning. Rule number 1, never fight in the open. That's not a battlefield. That's a graveyard with extra steps. Rule number 2, always use LOS, line of sight. Trees, rocks, walls, barrels, and confused NPCs are your best friends. Rule number 3, if you can't see the enemy can't see you. Unless they're a Nightblade, in which case they already saw you 6 seconds ago and are behind you as we speak. Burst combos for people who forget their rotations. The perfect burst combo is about timing. Apply debuffs. Set up your big damage ability. Execute before they heal. What happens in reality? Accidentally heal them with vigor because you targeted wrong. Use your ultimate on a random mud crab. Die mid-rotation and claim it was testing a new strat. Understanding the enemy. Every class in ESO PvP is a different type of nightmare. Nightblades, the jump scare of ESO. If you get hit, you probably never saw them coming. Dragon Knights. They won't kill you instantly, but they will slowly roast you like a marshmallow until you accept your fate. Sorcerers. They are either immortal lightning gods or tissue paper with delusions of grandeur. There's no in-between. Wardens. They heal so much, you start wondering if they have a personal agreement with RK. Necromancers. They summon a whole army, and somehow you're still more afraid of their graveyard AoE than the skeleton punching you. Templars. The holy light will save them and delete you. Stamina and magicka management. You are not an infinite resource machine. The moment one bar runs dry, you're officially role-playing as walking loot drop. Out of stamina? Congrats, you're now a target dummy. Out of magicka? Your damage is now 100% mean glares and firmly worded whispers. Pro tip, always keep enough for 1 roll dodge, 1 break free, and 1 panic heal. If you don't need them, you will. Tactical retreats, aka running for your life. Sometimes 1vx turns into 0vx real fast. The key to survival is never calling it running away. It's called strategic repositioning. Jump off cliffs, dodge roll into keeps, kite them through guards, because nothing says PvP skill like letting NPCs do your dirty work. The PvP snack break. When you're truly confident, you can take snack breaks mid-fight. Eat a sweet roll in front of an enemy before killing them. Sit down on the battlefield while they try to burst you. Pull out the dance emote after dodging their ultimate. Psychological warfare, baby. Death with dignity or not. You will die. The only question is, will you go down like a hero or like a guy who forgot to slot a cleanse? Pro death styles. Die in the middle of a huge explosion so it looks cinematic. Let the last hit be a fall from a siege tower. Spam. Laugh as you perish, confusing everyone involved. Zone chat aftermath. When the fight is over, the true PvP begins. Gank squad appears mid-scene. Do you fight or respect the ceremony? Trick question. You fight and use the bride as loss. Guild leader. Watching. Your guild leader is spectating you in voice chat. You must either perform flawlessly or die spectacularly enough that it counts as content for guild recruitment videos. Psychological warfare 2.0. Because mental combat is half the battle. Laugh every time you dodge their ultimate. You use eat to have dinner mid-fight. Bonus if it's in front of multiple enemies. Change your name to something intimidating like one-man Zerg, then immediately die to a squirrel. Graduation ceremony. Congratulations! You have survived advanced PvP disaster training. You are now officially a certified practitioner of tactical chaos, ready to enter Cyrodiil, battlegrounds, and duels with the perfect blend of skill, bad decisions, and unearned confidence. Remember, PvP isn't about the AP, it's about the story. This isn't just a fight, this is the fight. The one bards will sing about, the one you'll tell your guild's new recruits about, while leaving out the part where you almost died to a mud crab. The Cyrodiil event from hell. It's a sunny day in Cyrodiil, which means it's perfect weather for murder. You're casually riding your mount, humming the Morrowind theme when you spot a Zerg in the distance. But not just any Zerg. Oh no, this is the final boss of PvP. We're talking 12 Nightblades, all crouched and definitely watching you right now. 8 DKs, already breathing fire at a tree for no reason. 6 Sorks hovering in the back like angry lightning clouds. 5 Wardens laying down more heals than a hospital wing. 3 Necros, each with so many skeletons it looks like they're running a bone parade. And 1 Templar, glowing like they just absorbed the power of Aetherius itself. Behind them, siege weapons. All the siege weapons. Oil pots, ballistae, catapults, and, for some reason, 1 guy with a door from a keep strapped to his back like a shield. The opening move. You do the only sensible thing. Walk straight toward them, slowly, casually, like a guy entering a bakery. The Nightblades all vanish. This is fine. This is not fine. You immediately get hit by a surprise in-cap strike from somewhere in another dimension. You break free, heal, and dodge roll into a group of DKs who greet you with more DOTs than a Daedric contract. You panic. Your hands forget your rotation. You accidentally cast Rapid Maneuver. Congratulations! You're now sprinting in circles like a caffeinated gar. The chaos erupts. The Sorks start throwing crystal frags like confetti. Every time you block 1, 3 more hit you from behind. The Necros drop graveyards. You dodge straight into a Templar jabs train, which feels less like a fight and more like getting hit repeatedly with glowing chopsticks. You pop your ultimate, wrong bar. It's your fishing rod. Somewhere, a mud crab is very confused. Tactical genius, aka panic running. Realizing your only option is survival, you loss around a rock. The DKs follow, the Wardens follow, the Sorks follow. The Necros are too busy summoning a 4th skeleton army to notice. You run past a keep guard. The guard joins the fight because you accidentally smacked them during your AoE panic spam. Now you're fighting the entire enemy faction and a very upset NPC in heavy armor. The siege surprise! Just as things look grim, you see it. An unmanned ballista. You sprint for it like your life depends on it, because it does. You hop on and fire directly into the Zerg. It hits one Nightblade, who immediately whispers, "You reported!" The heroic finish. Your health is at 2%. Your stamina is gone. Your magicka bar is emptier than the promises of balance changes in patch notes. But then, you see it. An enemy DK overextends. You pounce. Light attack, skill, execute. Boom! They're down. The entire Zerg freezes in shock. You take this moment to sprint away, vanish into the hills, and declare victory in guild chat. Do they know you were one hit from death? No! Do they know you killed exactly one person out of 35? No! Do you now have the moral high ground? Absolutely. Epilogue. And that, my friend, is how you survive the Elder Scrolls PvP apocalypse. You don't win by wiping the Zerg. You win by living long enough to tell the story, making at least one enemy tilt so hard they write an essay in zone chat, clipping the fight, editing out the embarrassing parts, and uploading it with the title Insane 1vx, Cyrodiil Wreckage.